Wabano, a default vibration come. Now, what's in come ye, no? Now, yeah, share him say, Obia prophecy, no, ya better baby, a bequa could do. A bushia for. Ye no, na, to say. Or so for penny, a friend, no. A prophet Telvin, a gay soa. Yes, and someone can't yen and the mupe. Now, when a Ghana for say, hey, say you were D for Ghana, I say. Manin Tamra, Nafi. Yan tenen, na yen tea the young coupon pese or country of mine. And unti another day, your friend, who baby or one set tea and I say, Shay, I will YouTube, Facebook, na your percent say, your name, Prophet Telvin, a day so what. So for Penia or a prophetic life embassy. As I said, there, OEB, some for me, OEB, nice one. You, Yama Quaba. Apomboko de. A free man, Ocean come say about 2024 about one. You bet to be 9 p.m. Pepe, no beer who dear all winning. Pem da. Yes, I'm free with studio heavy, you know. Ghana for any we are saying, was saying, and send a comment in a banner, it was saying.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, Daniel Miasi say, Nioma God is doing is very wonderful because Meho said the reception and the grace of God is massive, and people are grateful that we have such a wonderful gift of God available. And it's very wonderful. The feedback, the communication in all angles, no, is positive. And one thing I keep hearing is people keep saying something, say, or more your unbelievers. They didn't believe in God. Time quite sorry, but because of the prophecy in Yamano, to me who say no. There is a prophetic angle. Almost say they were tired of the Lotto prophecy. Say, we be winning, we be lusu. We A, B, 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 C. Now, yeah, style. So they were tired of it. And Tomoba, so who be like came in with a prophetic word that was precise. Like, hey, you see. When they heard it, it really transformed their lives and their minds towards the work of God. And
Prophetic Life Embassy presents Telvin Sowa Ajay with Minister Jack Ololome. Crossover on 31st December 2024. Time will be 9 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. For all inquiries, call 0256 290 320. See you there.
I guess brought quite a lot of people to church, and one thing will be I always say that I love a lot is one doctor in America.
Okay.
Or frame or no say on class or even Ghana crowd on class or not now brutally most of his life. Or say or tie mean commission from the very beginning or see in cedar. It's not possible. Going forward, no, because or see this time Ninyama me bono, it cannot happen. It's not possible. Even the percentage is not possible. And to or they say no. Guy where he started, it looks very good. Or say or show me na me kasa me nimi niama na anything. But it felt sorry for me because my prophecy in Niama me can I'm saying too much. It's too precise and ANC. And he was afraid for me. But later no, or say 9 p.m. No, I has internal information. And I'm friend can say, oh, the election has been won. I say how? Exactly within that same time, I say okay, until I change the rest of the things that will happen. I see anopa, all time cook a crowd pejani, you know. Now, but me and Agena TV so or Bible consider defeat. And I'll check here, no sir can't be about this thing, November. I gave a prophecy. Now me need Nakuja on PENDREAM TV. Nakuja blessing.
No, say one light alive.
One light alive. And I'm in a car in a prophetic angle on now. I was prophesying, say, November, no, the BBC, selections be you running meet, and at the end of the day, after the selection goes on, confusion, be seen in, then there'll be a division in the party, we be forming new party, and then there'll be a separation. Or see, OT, sad, you know. Or say, no, it's not possible, it's not going to happen. But they are a man here very shocked is how I knew the exact month, you know, because see that time the Kwana electee, we know chairman of the party or Baba choose data. Yeah, the Baba that we flag bearership race.
Yeah.
So it was impossible to his scientific brain. Or see, no, this is not possible. And see, or put some few things together. Or see, it's either say, Sanipano, I am something else, and as I'm prophet. Okay. So it's within these two angles. If I say I am a prophet of God, which means as I say, on go back to church, don't go taking me serious. Because if there is a way God can actually see the future in this modern time, in its precision, and it happens exactly, which means so no our doctor no our PhD no no, there is something that is on the face of the earth that is not just about calculation and numbers on the scientific field. And that is the most intriguing testimony. I'm saying no. This is intelligent minds that are talking. And I like my prophecy to be scrutinized by learned people. Because in your aditrasa, you need to study it. And also I received about 3 communication from the university around and some other places said they wanted to interview me and communicate with me. How I'm able to understand the timeline like that. Because this is very much something that is needed to be studied. And then they have to understand what it is. And they wanted to communicate with. So I was like, no, this is so deep to understand, say, to the grounds of knowledgeable learning, people want to understand how that was possible. And that's the foundation. See, I thank God, say, the prophetic was what it is, and that is how God does his work. We thank God.
And sana ye betu an komono so me pese ye call background kakra o ye hwan o starting saying and nyankopon calling no started saying.
Okay. So nyankopon calling started with me so when I was quite very young. Okay. I was born like this. I was born with a prophetic eye. So
you can say you were born like this. What you say?
I was born menino the way it is. I was opened. Me who idea from when I was a kid. And to me, akolano. Now me tinafia me shen command penny for I think around the age of 6 years, 7 years old. Me catch and penny for if you're about to die. Met me show when you catch say this is when you will die. So ba me here akolano. Penny for be saline jinatina minim. Now be a business say da bena me.
A man for that the one dance years.
Yes, I grew up in Labadi. Yes.
Labadi Hifa.
Ochen. South La.
Yeah. Wow.
I used to talk. So maybe I've gathered when I make stories from we are now. I'll be telling go be a person that we be so. And if I say it, me see next week. Me see 2 weeks or 2 weeks. So now my say we we came to meet some movie. Now I'm on for the movie no to me Odumodu. Say yeah, so they were laughing at me with that kind of movie. Say meteor, and I wasn't a pastor at that time. Though I'm quite sorry. My grandmother was one of the founders of Divine Less Church. And we understood godliness in a very deep way. But I mean that time, yeah, they are sorry the kwakoda. You koda one night and the abafi. So we were just kids. And we were able to see through that things. And God was doing his wonderful things. So as we were growing, we developed to know God. Yes.
What be sa o mama and now papa say a kwan ben so no mo fa so e wo say one woman no mystery bi e wo ho ana we be so mo say o say etumi koje nkwada free baby ni ade wo de no e say bi na ti ana no mo kan ne sentre wo.
Oh, my extensive questions on that, and I believe say there are so many things that happened. When they gave birth to me, my mother also coma after that, so it was my grandmother that took me. When I mean no breast milk, and then I had to start drinking cocoa ninyamani. So I started eating early, and I grew up very early. And to me, no me about the age of 4 years, me kasabe can say me old man. Because I was talking very high at that level. By the age of 6 years, my friends were never young people. They were all old men in Kokra. And I only hung around old people. And Omuno share me many things I know. So I talk like an old man, even from when I was young. And many people listen to me, they see that I'm young. But when I start talking, Omuno say, no way, there's something different about him. Or kita dream for and the body is different. So that's where we started from. And there are a lot of mysteries. But some things are there, they are unlawful to utter. It's so strange. And
when you say unlawful to utter, no, say it's bound in time, no. Yeah, na drink kakra.
The reason I make us say unlawful to utter is in regards to that kind of situation. And you like spiritual things, but there are things that I see to understand say it's so impossible. Could you believe say me young no? I was so accurate in prediction of anything. Let me say prophecy of anything. Now I wasn't a prophet. But because we grew up from the divine hold of God, God appointed the prophetic from when I was a child. So the Bible said, before you were blood clots in your mother's womb, I knew thee and I have ordained thee as a prophet. So deep inside, I was already born with the open eye. One important thing, I was so precise to understand that my own mother, me mommy family tinazi beside me say, so we are before now.
They want mommy.
Me and mommy.
Call money you know.
Yeah, when I grew up.
Unini kakrano.
Yes. Or beside because the things I was doing and the things I was saying was so wonderful. It was beyond imagination. Met me about the housemaid by FBC we were before. Like joke, reality. It will manifest. Like I see everybody, anything. Nothing is hidden out of my sight. So I was very precise. And to me, I was steady. To be honest. I saw dangerous mysteries of the entire household. I was like that. Including my own grandfather's funeral last year. They had to bring me home. Because the things I was saying, one year, it would have turned the whole household upside down.
Now, man, for the Bonnie Webusianu.
Bonnie, I was 20 me. Clear, I may share, I didn't know. Because I was saying, I've said it in several times on live when I was a kid. Imagine a year say, and I mean, who say, who say, yes, the funeral to order. And to me, who say, Obi that glass, my attitude in some red, ni 9 red, ni 3 red. I am in anano. And it was rolling left and right, left and right, left and right. And to other my friend, I'm going to say, why is grandpa going left and right, left and right? And why not sure? What is this one? And I saw me more, or they may buy a bunting, or friend pastor, no one about a bunting catcher and say, me better see, we know down or really left and right. Now, that time they are capture a front so, but me, that was what I was saying. So me, I was watching it, maybe some that then or match it or call left and right. And I'm a friend, my grandmother, my neighbor outside. Or buy a not tea, they make a no see no. Mum parking na mum coffee, or coffee, because the things I was saying. She knew what was going on. She knew exactly what was going on. Me just sure, no coffee because I did want she and create a big problem. Because once I say that thing at that time, I'll become a target because I've seen something that is hidden beyond imagination. So it was not Adibia. I had to go to some church, go and pray somewhere, and then God opened my eyes. The prophetic hold was in the family line, and Yankupon told me so. He came to pick me up, say, "Wait, I want to choose him towards something important." And people have prophesied about it. Me outdoor was sorry diamond. It was only church. It was pastors that were laying hands on me and praying. Nothing more. Party and no free.
And fast forward, no. Unyi no so for ben they groom me. To say, I say, "Odi ufanti tiemua." Where do baby I be? All right.
So in the dimensions of how I grew up, there are many people that was inclusive in my growth. Yes. One say, once God was talking to me, he was communicating with me directly. So I learned from quite a lot of people as I grew up earlier. But then, one day, me hear crusade, and then they came to tell me, say, Dr. Lawrence Tete was almost me preaching to say on the paper. So at that time, during the time in trade fair, that was about somewhere 2010. Yeah, 2010, I think 2009, 2010 there. No, it should be 2009 there. Yes, earlier 2009 there. Now, I started fellowship for trade fair. Until all the time, no fellowship service for trade fair on them. So I said, okay, sorry. That time I used to do a park fellowship. That time we were in school. Now me different kinds of programs, and I could host more than half a football pitch. That is my normal evening fellowship. You have fellowship every day. So I gathered my crowd, my members, and I see young class, sorry. But when you're not here, Bob can say yeah rally because we were so much. We were like 500 people, and then we went to troop into the service. So
Wow.
So we occupied the whole church, and I've been called for the youth in India. So during the service, they were dancing praises. No, almost I am on I saw when no mama sorry now very lively like that. So from that moment, then the link was built. He prayed for me, we took it from there, and then I started following him step by step.
Okay.
Step by step. So at that time when I was very, very young, I was very, very small. So I always go there during crusades. We're always there organizing, doing whatever we have to do, serving the purpose and following consistently and constantly up till now. So that is where I link myself from. I was not raised by any prophet. So that is the thing. So it's very strange that you're a prophet, whilst I follow someone different. Yeah.
I see. You. Ghana for Bebre Akasa after a prophecies here by ye. Ebi mo say we are NDC prophets. O prophecy nyina eye de e koma NDC for. Asa wonhu ade papa bia mfa NPP for ho da. Ena NPP alambete ne ho ampa na esi. Na no kura ba ye o san kan say uhun say Baumiati Hill be so. Or to Hill so. And NDC dear was I the first interview cry was I can say, oh, I'm on 9 o'clock. Not ye would your bed winning. Your bed winning so ye. Or man penida that John Dramani Mahama. And an anno cramp the Osambe can say, it is on bed break or money bed break 8 no. And tell us I won't come when you know. I had their favor NDC for I say, one the papa bia our MPP for mu. So for so what? What did I say?
All right. So before MPP became this thing, Nanado became president.
Okay.
I prophesied, say Obeba be a president.
Okay.
In that angle,
records now.
Yes, I have it there. It's on my my phone. I can open it on my Facebook. Just search. Just write Prophet Telvin, write Nanado. You will just see it. It's on my post. I posted this picture, everything.
Okay.
Yes. Because I saw him even until we were there. I saw everything. I spoke about the election for 2016.
Okay.
He won the election. People insulted me, blah blah blah. But then the victory was there. In 2020, I prophesied the same thing. That Nanado will win the election. I was with Nakuja Blessing on 2020.
I mean, to say Nakuja can say that they now can't cry the name sign and not their revoke fee.
Exactly. And the other ones, I prophesied the prophecy, it came to pass perfectly. This is 2020-2024. This is the first time I am prophesying about NDC.
Okay.
From 2020. I started that in 2019-2020.
Okay.
That after MPP wins 2020, NDC will take 2024 way ahead, and then I showed them the map towards that angle, because I always say one thing to Nakuja, say me pen come shy be look to say we be winning, we are winning, we be winning, now we be winning, and so one share here we be winning. Me who say we call and I drew baby and we be G. I don't want that kind of prophecy. And me see, for me to prophesy about the election, I have to start from 4 years where it is impossible. And I have to give the map and the directions, the step-by-step approach. So every day I am saying something. So maybe a woman I prophesy about something. Now who the echo say we are still on the road or not. So that we walk towards the exact path we're supposed to get to. And that is how the prophecies happen before I got to the NDC. And my shame come about MPP, my shame come through several things that MPP has to do. And then I'm also on the time of NDC. But I thought people are biased in that angle. And call money there. Because I don't know how to put it, but if it's not going for them, they will come against you. Say you're NDC prophet in Yama. But when I was prophesying for MPP, when I prophesied for the election, they said the same thing to me. I must say, Obi Krabe commented was me comment say well losing respect for me because I'm doing politics now. Because I prophesied that Nanado will become president. I say he has lost respect for me. He thought I was a real man of God. He has lost because Bishop comes and Nanado will become president at that time. he came to comment it, and no, I know the person very well. And I will comment it. I say, so I felt like, Ghana, no, if you speak about politics, do you become something else? Like, I don't know how they see you once you prophesy about election and president. President, you nipa. To say, sorry. The same way I can prophesy to a weed smoker, the same way I can prophesy to a regular person, a drunkard, but that's the same way I can prophesy to a president. Okay. There is nothing evil about the political arena. So it's a very beautiful thing. And many NDC prophet.
I remember ni saying na Odifo bi beshen kom na emmem.
Okay.
Odifo beshen kom to say, we say our political season, you know. Yen kon say obi ahyen kom say omampani abedi akire Dr. Baumia ebe wene na ambem.
Right.
Say also beshen kom say omampani dada John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency obe wene nanka wan wene ede na ebetumi esi a saa de no embem.
Okay. So I broke it down the last time that there are different kinds of prophets.
Okay.
There are the prophetic hold that are the ones that is able to create true faith, which is the people that fought tail, and then there are those that fought tail.
Okay.
In that angle, we have the capacity through the dimension of Ezekiel. So I came from the order of Melchizedek through Enoch, Ezekiel, Isaiah, John the Revelator, Daniel, from that angle up till my time. And you feed that dispensation.
Me breaking it down. Not to say, what you man we no. It is says a defo ya wabobo. Said Daniel more ahead of time, no?
Yes.
Sana would the anything.
Absolutely. To say William Brown as well. Yes.
William. So no. The other man said no.
No. Where
now kuya na body fitei. Okay, odi ebeba
we are old prophets. It's
okay.
old. It's American. Yeah.
Okay.
But also four-dimensional like that.
Okay.
So we follow that order. On say the same angel and a year juma over the hierarchy. Sometimes we make mistake. We assume says any pani who above one. Once you are called as a prophet, you are called by a specific angel. Who study Bible now? There are only 2 angels that were mentioned. And the reason why the angels were mentioned was because they were the angels that belonged to the tribe of Judah. Okay. So anytime at all you hear the story of Angel Gabriel and Angel Michael. They came from the time of Abraham to the time Jesus was born. And then from there, they continued one way or the other through the apostles. And then that was it. That's not the only angels on the face of the earth. Okay. There are angels that functioned with Ezekiel. The same angels that took Ezekiel through the dimensions, through the lifeline up till now, are the same angels that are available. That's how God works. But then, open will be honor or like they glorify angels. Angels, as the Bible said in Hebrews chapter 1, they are just ministering spirits sent to minister to the heirs of salvation. So we can't glorify them. Say me both for your friend, see, or you're powerful. They are angels. I know the angels of God that are with us. I know the level of angels that are surrounding me. Even as I'm sitting down here, the atmosphere I sit in is not even ordinary. Yes.
But then, studio here,
they are receiving inspiration. As I'm speaking, the Bible said there's a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. So that my words will be measured and uttered very perfect. God gives me inspiration. So as I speak to you now, it is not me that is entirely speaking, but my words are filtered to meet the criteria of divine extenders.
Nakuja de minyesio. Nakuja de minyesio. Nakuja de minyesio. Sofo. Nakuja angel jinaneti.
Oh, angel nakuja opa.
Eye jina hey.
Yes, angels everywhere.
Hey, angels is so there.
So that's how God works. The presence of God is there. The Bible says wherever 2 or more are gathered in his name, he is there in their midst. So sabebepe na nyankopon ye na. So if when you bring the question to Obishan Komna say what do we do? Obia or the hierarchy of the prophetic operation. Now there are 3 factors that can destroy a prophetic word coming to pass.
Okay, 1.
Number 1, the person that you are prophesying to. You have to understand which type of prophecy you're prophesying to the person. There is a prophecy like our own. It is constant in time, which means wherever you pass it will happen. What I say. And then there's a prophetic word that can be worked. It's an open source, which can be fixed, adjusted, and something can be done about it. So when the prophetic word is given to the person, the question is, which type of prophecy are you giving? If you give a prophecy that is based on timeline, it will never fail. It's precise. But when you give a prophecy that can be adjusted, then it can fail. So now, let's say I prophesy through time that in 25 years I see you becoming a president. It's true time. Opa, my cambo, now you're crippled. In 25 years, you will get the legs to walk and be sworn in. It's timeline prophecy, fourth dimensional. That one, we've seen the end of the story. We are not forging it. We are not creating it. There is no forgery, nor any fake grounds on that one. You can't talk it and hope it happens. It is going to happen once you say it. And then there is another one that the person sees the thing. It's a possibility that can happen. So then he will work towards it happening. That one is the second one. So if the person doesn't do anything about that one, then it means it can fail. And so the individual you're giving it to has to do something about it, or I, the one giving the prophecy to you, has to do something about it. The second problem to the prophetic hold is the situation of familiarity and human factor. As a prophet, Mimi say, I love Donald Trump. One time because he's against gay and lesbianism, all those kind of stuff. So I'm with him. Due to that, if any time at all beside me say American presidency, Donald Trump, Nick Kamala Harris, one every winning, is Donald Trump. I'll say it every day, every time anyhow. Yeah, because now I'm biased towards Donald Trump. Like how Nakuja is. Nakuja is like under a bias, under maybe one kind of simple. So everybody at that angle, in any bias. If you want your prophetic to stand out, play neutral. That's why I don't follow politics. I don't know the politics. I don't know them from anywhere. I don't know them at all. Take politics as you. Obama for 15 day. I don't know. In politics, I don't know anybody. I don't know them on there. I don't understand how the politics things work. And to be better now, I make us at 9 p.m. Say Bessia. I'm not saying it because I know a thing about politics. I'm saying it because that's what I am seeing. Because once I have inside information, my prophecy will be ruined. So I stay out of it. So how I'm able to go into any situation is to stay out of the situation. The more you are involved with the people, say, I'm always involved with maybe for example the NDC 4 years more involved. Every time I'm with them, every time I'm working. In the next few years, after the prophecies are done, I will be forced to say, oh, NDC will win the election because they are sure now I'm attached to them. I'll prophesy for their victory. Right? So if I'm attached to NDC, MPP too, I'll do the same thing for the MPP. So what you do is, as a prophet, you abstain. Either than that, your prophecy has a chance of being influenced because you are associated with the people. Because Kai said, prophetic thin line, there is something I call limbo, which means it's nothingness that I create within myself. That is where I sit with God and communicate with Him. In that angle, I don't allow emotion, feeling, hurt, pain, anything getting into the angle. And to me, I'm smiling. It's genuine. Because inside me, I don't keep anything. When I'm a bonnet and I've forgotten you, I just forget you with the bonnet. That's how I'm free-minded. Yes. And I keep that angle within me. So for your prophecy to come to pass, you have to have a clean internal foundation without any form of gain or advantage. Ocean come nine sika a bit me feely. So all names of NDC we now bra be bit me appointment now they shan come a bit me feely. Ocean come not towards getting money from the government a bit me feely. Once there is an advantage of gain, your prophecy is influenced.
You yeah bet to abano ye who and if we be brahana they were very loud radio, TV, ni social media so yenim osofu kusi buaten
right
ba konso ne friend no osofu kusi apia po kusi apia na papa ba konso ono so ne din no na ono so de Braham sa temana
body. I think it's replicating the old man because the old man is old, ancient. He died many years ago.
And a few of them are omonso ebeshen kom sa categories here and I say group of friends saying prophet here and I say near man influence prophecies sa so for the omo beshen fa
in the prophetic angle.
Yes.
With the things of the prophetic. I will say, said they are also doing their best work by the grace of God. The Bible said diverse kinds of spirit, but by the same, diverse kinds of operation, but by the same spirit. And it will be and sometimes it is interpretation, and sometimes it's true human factor. And I said, if you're closer to some people, you may end up talking for them.
Once there is gain, obey gain, no, the possibility say obey to me come a favor because you share papa Kusi Boatin say ya or no national cathedral obey mukakra and for Kusi Boatin or no so I say not what not to me no tia so I say enti o hwemu a senya wo kan e betumi aba say gain bi wo mu ntina prophecy ni fairly na omu gain ni bibi in their prophecies internet prophecies ni fairly na.
I can't guarantee that to the point as a fact, but based on the study of prophetic, I am more I do my prophetic angle as a school be a mission, so I learn every time when something happens, so I keep studying. Me more like a scientist that is doing research on the prophetic ministry. Now when I look at the prophetic angle from that perspective, I will say that when you're close to those people, you are likely to prophesy to them. And I may not say that is the case, but in some sense, I may say that once you're directly involved with the people as a man of God,
okay,
automatically your prophetic word becomes very much mixed up with something.
You, for yani also for a prophet Telvin Ajesowa. Also for penny or prophetic life embassy. Nyankopon ya aduma 31st of December obi asorena no ewo oyibi hinfa kra so for
oyibi prayer camp junction.
Okay, prayer camp junction.
Yes, Odro Oyibi's main central point, you know, where the police station is to your left side. You just drive 1 minute away, you will see the prayer camp junction. Over on banner build bohodom. We'll put the ministry banners there.
Okay.
And then over home school be crowd or your first school banner. The name of the school is Banner.
Okay.
Yeah. And to Okona Odro junction, once you turn you just turn that left turn. Or drive it 1 minute, but you see the church building.
Also for my mini sabium say Oralan kwadwo kire manten obetumi aba be president oh man.
All right, is there a possibility so obetumi aba be president? I will tell you the truth as I sit down here right now. I have not observed this presidential timeline. I have entirely not gone into it.
Okay, but what share a nipa ebetumi di president what shall copy 2032?
Yes, for 16 years.
16 years. 16 years no. Nakuja. I say 2024. 8 years yet 2032.
Yes.
Plus another 8 no. Not just say 2040.
Yes.
So 16 years he. Oralan ko do tremanti on come.
His presidency timeline, I've never tried to poke into it.
Oh, so what ebedi akonya no.
Absolutely.
Ana mkrofo ebetena so. Say emfa say 2028, 2032, 2036 and 2040. What ni nyina?
Oh yes, 16 years straight.
Onka ho.
With on only specific time. What I'm say Alan Tremantin is a very special person in time.
Okay.
I saw something about him in that timeline. Once I saw that thing, especially with the time of free NPP, I saw something about him. Once I saw it, I realized, say, in the timeline, there's a whole lot of things that have to happen. And it's like, oh, drive your car, baby, you have to turn left, turn right, turn left. And
of course,
it's a puzzle, not a own rule, it's a puzzling route. So when I saw that, I said, Mami Fan tour. I'll focus on that later because I know who will come ahead. So let me focus on that. His time is there.
16 years in the move.
He will play a tempering game within the 16 years. Yes.
And from 2024, he copy him 2040. Chanda ebe to me a president.
Not in the 16 years. he would temper with the president. They're almost about to grab it, but it was not possible.
Only with the party new force now.
Yes.
And now Bekwanko align with NDC and NPP move back.
Not at all.
New force, not the new force now never.
Absolutely. I remember the prophetic word was 2 giant parties, 2 trees. And then as they were growing battling for 15 years, a young tree came out of nowhere, and then it sprang out and separated the 2 out.
And the gender na separate NDC and NPP no.
Absolutely.
And na oma sa 2-party system na say ye running no.
Breaky. Yes.
It is not just the only number can say the third force no.
It is a possibility. It's not even something that is going to work towards. It is lying down in time. In the next 8 years to come, the Africa you know will no longer be the Africa you understand anymore. Everything will change. Yes. Everything is about to change.
Chanda. Ebetumi ha adwen in the next 16 years.
Yes.
But obetumi di ekonya after 2040.
Yes.
Some 16 years, no. After 2028, when they take you over?
As for that secret, I'm keeping it for now.
2032.
Once I say it today, now very early, right now, I won't ask how about me. I can't be. I say, okay, you know,
they're not back.
They're not back the next time.
And 2032, so why never?
That one is also in the same line. The day I sit down, when I'm mentioning the names, when I have utterance, I'll give everybody's name till 2016. 16 years through is done. Yeah,
I see.
Absolutely.
When would they all take you over from Omampeni John Dramani Mahama?
Once I'm with that, I will go in deeper with that. That's true.
I see.
Absolutely.
NPP 2024 we copy 2028. One shania may be see woman.
In the party?
Yes.
Yes. Say about the things I said earlier on. Yeah, it's the same holding grounds. Yes. And they say that's mainly what is going to happen.
Nyankopon yi atro de obedi omo party na nim 2028 ana.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oye ni party atia kakra ana say region no free hifa.
With regards to the party, NPP Honum, and then who will lead their party in the next 4 years of election. Once the time hits, there is a timeline here. I am supposed to speak all these things. Even me, myself, my prophecies as well are in time. So I mirror their future to mirror mine to see when I'm saying it. So within that timeline, I'll be here telling you the same story.
Not just say, Baumia Besen Lady 2028.
Once the time comes, I'll give you.
I wish you for alright, for Telvin na Jesu. Me the little not the miato. The little not the miato. I see.
Absolutely.
I see. 2021 no say come say ntokwa bekoso atwede pupu bekoso of Parliament. Next month the net is saying
next month.
The year 2025 mean Parliament is saying. So 9th Parliament yet is saying.
The 9th Parliament that is ongoing, yes. There are some few things that will go on within Parliament.
Okay.
And yet to say what we saw in 2021, it was punch for punch. That one, it was amazing. I was laughing. Now who just
because I can say parliamentarians got come to qua atutu there. I say
It didn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And it happened exactly like a storyline. And the prophecy spoke about even Mibo news, news number 20, their captions and what was happening. Yes, and it happened precisely as the Lord leads. And to say, with Parliament, there will be a lot of resistance in Parliament. It's not going to be a war zone like that, but people will be asked out of Parliament. And then what will happen in Parliament is that the other side of Parliament will be very empty.
Yeah, other side, the NPP.
Minority side will be very empty in Parliament. Will be very, very empty. And not the number, it will be very empty in Parliament. Consistently.
Parliament one.
It will be very, very empty. So they can't even
who can say be who say people will be asked out?
Yes.
Say you
yes, from Parliament.
Why they pamomo?
The one that sits on the council of the Parliament.
And the but individuals you are pamomo.
Yes, there are some people that will be fighting to sit on the same seat. 2 people represent them. 1 person will be asked out of Parliament. Consistently.
Our majority inside and not minority.
When it happens, but you see, some things that I don't want to hit it, but I've told you the storyline. So you would experience the storyline, how it is. People who walk into Parliament, they will be resisted whilst they are there. They have to go out of Parliament. Walk out of Parliament, and that's the foundation. And that's something that will be going on within the angles, and then certain things will happen. But all these things will end in April 4th.
Next year,
Yeah, next year. Because they'll be up, and then from there, Parliament will be empty. The other side. I don't want to keys be what there are some secrets I don't want to hit it because I don't have utterance. But then I'll only give you the ones that I have utterance to unlock.
Majority leader who no me pray. Anadia.
Not at all. Not at all. Once I over you will see what I mean. They will ask people out of Parliament because 2 people are trying to sit on the same seat. 2 people are trying to sit on the same seat. And then they will bring a name like roll call. You. Walk out.
And I said, recollection for the na as a entokwabe ba huyana. Recollection e ba so say MPs ni bi o ha ye declare mo winners dada. And na Saturday no, omo san koya recollection. Ama me ka say omo a ye di kan declare mo winners no. Omo say Nyankopon ya adoma on the 6th at the 7th no omo ginam den. Some crofo emu bi na speaker be pam omo efri Parliament one.
In the foundation, one thing about my prophetic word is, I tell you the story and how it will happen. Whatever that is going on inside their minds at that moment today, I don't have utterance to unveil it. But once I have the utterance, you will be asked. I'll start one. Otherwise, I said that I'll be the better because I have packaged it before coming. But once they've not given me utterance, yeah, zippy at all, no, I can't unlock it.
I see. Hey. It not say MPP for side the minority no, it will be empty.
Yes. It will be very, very empty.
Reason in the day.
Most of the time when things are going on, it will just be empty, constant. Because the way the country is going to begin to go is going to be surprising because things has to be done quickly. And once things are being done quickly, some people will decide they are not going there. It will be very, very empty. That's the foundation.
That I say baby I saw for the minimum lady. I say but I feel no man can be omo leader na.
Who is that? I don't know.
The current majority leader no. ono na be minority leader.
I've been hearing his name.
Okay.
Needing or TikTok video about him. Was you no ontina minority seat?
Yes.
Spiritual about minority.
Yeah.
That's all I know about him. I don't know much
Okay.
about him. Once they are not this thing, timeline and you walk you on is very crucial timeline.
Okay.
It's a very crucial one. So if the person is not part of the chess piece, we are not playing checkers.
Okay.
Diamond is checkers. We are playing chess. Every move is a language. So if the person is not a very important part of the chess piece, his prophecy doesn't belong to you. His timeline doesn't. But anybody that will move anything, is the one that his timeline belongs to. And see, once they are very crucial in moving, and I am basically a scribe of God. This is the first time I'm saying it. Yeah. 4-dimensional prophets are scribe of God, like we write the future. God tells the future. We write it like a story, and everybody will live it like a story. It's precise, and in the storyline there are names in it. There are specific things that are supposed to happen for the next 50 years. And once I get the utterance, I open one book. Once I get the utterance, I open. Then I'm going one step at a time and unfolding it at a time, whilst I still scribe the rest ahead. And then if there is other things he wants to add, I keep adding them as we go. So once the person is not an important figure in the timeline, specifically to move something, to change something, and it is not needed to fulfill a specific course, then it's not going to be there. Now, the main reason why I prophesied about election prophecy, I want to say it today. And yet, because our NDC or NPP will win. A lot of people prophesy for the sake of NDC or NPP winning, or for the sake of anything. The main reason I ever open my mouth, NDC and NPP winning, is because of what God wanted to do in Ghana. I mean, breaking it down for you. I was flying on an aeroplane. As I was flying, I was entering into Ghana. As I was entering into Ghana, I began to see buildings, skyscrapers, a place that was looking like a special haven, a beautiful location. When I entered into Ghana, I asked the question, which country is this? And then the angel of the Lord began to communicate with me that this is the country of your birth, Ghana. And I said, how did we become this all of a sudden? And he said, that is the possibility of time. And all of a sudden, I began to see white people at the shoreline. I said, form as slaves and bringing them to Africa.
Wow.
So when I saw, it was like a 10 of events in time. Then he told me vividly that a time will come, that as how they bow to the old gods in Africa, the white man will come towards you and bow to your old gods again. Which is, I'm not talking about gods that and yeah, in reality, I'm talking about the kings. That's how they will come back and bow to them. And then when they are done bowing to them, the only thing that can stop this prophetic timeline is when the rapture takes place. If Jesus doesn't come, the prophecy timeline is there. In the 4th dimension, I looked and saw so many things. There is one thing I can never fathom or comprehend its reality, which is the coming of the Lord. Nobody knows how it is. And nobody knows. It's called moving time. In the realm of the spirit, time is secular. Right now here, in this our timeline, time is linear, which means in so we will die eventually. In the 4th dimension, the spiritual realm, time is secular, which means yesterday can be today, today can be tomorrow, tomorrow can be yesterday, and 3 days today can be today. So I am here today, I'm yesterday, I'm tomorrow, I am in the future. Jesus the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. In that angle, time does not exist. So what I say? So time is secular. So I saw through that dimension, and I have gone ahead of it. And then I've realized all this reality in time. And see, the same applies to the coming of the Lord, which is not possible to get. But then we've seen to how Africa became great. And that is why I prophesied.
Wow. I come a questions, Ben, you know, nothing. Yedi enkomo twetwe esi adifo bebre wo oman mu amosi omo na esi hini tu hini the other day no buy meka ho asem
exactly
usi president
come again
o kan adifo na esi president wo man no mu na na
all right, so let me say this. Prophets are instruments of power. But there are so many people that are not prophets. But the moment himself, prophetic ministry looks a bit lucrative, because that's the only point where you can tell somebody something and then they want to give offering. They love the prophetic ministry. And the amount for the door be brave towards that angle. And there's a market will be running towards that angle, trying to be. And there's too many funny games over there. But when we come to the say, I want to drop that at the back of your mind if I say what I'm saying. A ban is so BC or your own no seeking and on no two here. Before you become a king, there is a specific order. There is a priest who makes the kings.
Okay.
That is the hierarchy of operation. It is very possible. So there are people that have the capacity to be able to do that kind of thing. But then, mind you, say, if through the four-dimensional capacity and in time, this person is supposed to become king, it doesn't matter who has to make it. They will all follow the same timeline.
Okay.
What I say?
Okay.
I said one thing the last time. Michelle come say, I saw NDC ruling for 16 years. When we say, when you check social media now, every prophet is saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Or you can say, Obi, a copy prophet, Telvin. They are not copying me. What they're actually doing is, they are saying the same thing that is in the realm of the spirit. The voices of the prophet has to be one. What I say? When people say, oh, when I can say, Prophet Telvin can come show Biafra, is because they have also seen it in their own way. So if you are not in assisting, if you are mentioning table back assisting,
okay,
it's the same prophetic timeline. What is any So people have the capacity to be able to run that. But then, when the timeline is set, it is set. And the object now I share what is prophesied in the timeline to see so or see in here. Then that's entirely up to the capacity, because maybe on a level of interpretation, it's not what I am looking at.
Okay.
What you're saying. Maybe obi kind in as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obi so eji or kind abubo. So everybody in the angle obi so be kind on our dream. So it depends on the interpretation level. So omo betimi with that capacity. By now also in our own explanation angle, which we understand what goes on. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Internet say o level no, o level Ghana ha no. You say rank in the spiritual realm. Ujina hefa.
Ghana among prophets.
Yes, among answer ya call AB Africa ni wi ase a. O hwe say mo ye adwuma osunsun. Nti hwe adifo na mo kosia wo spiritual realm na. O rank no ujina he.
Oh, me there. Me Paul our mountain. We first saying I baby last.
Paul our mountain so o chen di kan.
No, not chen di kan for. I don't come here no me a baby last. I'm just a kid, little one with big God.
I see.
Yes, God is great and I understand him very well. And when a person is transcending the power of God, the Bible said that they comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. So we cannot measure ourselves by hierarchy. Though we always speak about the level of hierarchy in heaven, like we have living creatures, archangels, seraphims, cherubims, elders, and messengers. But the problem is that those people are not based on power of hierarchy. They are based on power of function.
Okay.
What you say? Nti a level I did that however. Nti I believe that my function is unique to someone's function. Yeah, a football pitch, a goalkeeper function are different. Striker function are different, defender function are different, but they are all footballers. Maybe goalkeeper keep way striker no be share go no be no be many fans, but way defender no or no keep it goals from going into your pool. The winger is the one that is actually forcing the attack and using his dribbling skills. And everybody is playing a collective game for a specific goal. So there is nobody or better me say all the prophets in the world, mina me I'm a boss. Me na me the greatest of this. Me na me the greatest of that. I cannot rank myself within that, because if there is a ranking like that, me personally, I would say I am not part of it, because I speak for God.
Okay.
If I put myself in a position, say I do this, I can do this, I am this, I am that. What if the old man says he's not going to talk anymore? Who am I then? Exactly. Because we are just vessels. If he's not going to talk, then we can't talk. But if God is still speaking to us, we are just extending the message. We are just like a reflection of light.
Okay.
Like the light bounces on you and then it reflects to another angle. And we are carriers of inspiration. We are nobody.
see.
But nipa da say no mudi or the followers. They don't. I always tell people, don't follow me, follow God that is speaking to me. So when you see me talking as a human being, ignore the human being and pay attention to the God that is talking, because all I want to present is not myself, as how Paul said. To live is Christ, to die is gain. That the life I live is not mine, but I live it to the glory of God. So my very life in itself is to project God's grace. It is established.
It is established. Now, my member ministry, Prophetic Life Embassy.
Absolutely.
Nyankopon ya adoma 31st. Ubiano. Afen na wo start here, sorry. And I say, ewo hoda na o pa hon to my 31st.
Yes. Okay, I've done church several times, like in so many angles. And I feel you know, say we did church having some places that we're using, and at one point in time, no, Nyankopon to make us say we need to get our own location. So it's okay, I'm going to build this location. No? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get it done. And in getting the location done, I said, I mean, rent anybody's auditorium or any other place, because I believe, say, in Mount Zion, maybe I earlier, no. People used to come around, almost sat not tear of him, almost to me the coffee or miracle. Or be crowd, bar, so for prophetess, be crowd, sorry, from water, middle room in Sawa, sorry, or the tear, sorry, cry, at the year wonders, people, at the year miracles in them, just the water I wash my hands with. So, me won't say, where we stand, no, the presence of God dwells there, and it is able to do wonderful things around the location. The presence of God does all those wonderful things there. And to me, person, you better call over and tell the tournament, bina, or be a club or be a party or be a bear, and ask a minko papa, tabika, can shall say, then we come in. I want somebody that is conducive, because when I want to do something for God, I want to do it better. And T does it. And to say, no, we built a place, we are not fully completed.
Okay.
Yes. What you will come and meet is partially, let's say it's 85% complete.
Okay.
It's left with the finishing that I'll be doing. But I'm perceiving being at 31st because there's
now they are crossover about 1st January.
1st January, yeah. Because I want to actually, because we have the things to be able to do a service.
Okay.
But then I didn't want to say people want to actually encounter. And I say I'm always behind, I'm always hidden.
Because I'm afraid wa musu omunya o say and the course idea. Any purpose be shi outdoors. Enti eno sa no o start 31st no na ye crossover. Na asori start here no.
Asori start.
Would they say the church da be?
For now, no, I will not do a Sunday service. But after 31st, no, on the 10th of January, we'll do a 21 days fasting, which means every evening there is an evening service.
Okay.
Yes, and every I'll be there. I'll be there myself. And then from there, we'll start our all-night programs. Our all-night programs, I'll come and say and talk about it. Every Friday will be an all-night.
Okay.
So it's a constant all-night services, which is prophetic all-night, face-to-face with God. So, and also be a
no the same. No,
yeah, a normal like all-night service. Yeah, so it's prophetic all-night service.
Okay.
And yeah, service over when we are prophesying, we look at everybody. I can start from the first desk to the last person in the service, prophesying to everybody one after the other, one after the other. Yes. Exactly.
I see. And no be counseling, consultation.
Yes, the church office is also there, right there. The same church compound. And also for consultations are also available. But the consultation website where you book the appointment so that you don't come and mix up. And then the second thing is you can book an appointment upon arrival.
Okay.
That's also possible. And I believe that some days I'll just open it up so that everybody can come and see me. Let's talk one-on-one and then let's solve the problems that are available. But then one important thing I want to add is, Miss Remo, I beg you a lot. If you are not ready to solve your problem, please don't come and waste the time of somebody that is begging for that same attention you're going to get. Because in the prophetic angle, it's a very tough thing to meet a prophet to deal with your problem. Exactly. What I've realized over the years of ministry is people want someone to talk to, not someone to solve their problem. Some people are there, they love their problem, and they are not willing to solve their problem. So the issue is, the people are a lot, so we want to solve the problems and go forward. Okay. And once you're coming in, be ready to solve your problem. Do 14 days fasting, do 21 days fasting. I say, so for a bad thing, once you say that to me immediately, I'm gone. Because you need
that's
to
when
come.
you're serious.
Yeah, exactly. You are coming to waste our time, because what we are doing is very sensitive, and if we don't do it right, now uncle, because oh, prophet don't mean to oh, my God, but the question is that is why we are very strict with our things, so that you won't come and go and come and tell us a story. Anybody that meets me, within 3-4 days, you will see say strange things are happening in your life, because that is strict. Because that's how God works. The Bible is there, so we will stand by the Bible and let you operate and follow strict instructions of the Bible. Then go follow that. You will see that Nyankopon have a visit you. But if you call me trying to detect what you want to be done, or how you want God's work to be done for you, it's not possible. When you sit in front of me, God can tell me you're a carpenter. Go and start a carpentry business. Over 10 years, you come back to me again with the same story. So let's call me with all sorts of seriousness that intimates of people.
No counseling, no.
Me partial counseling, they are free. Kwata free. There is nothing to pay for counseling or any other thing. Sorry, dear, sorry. Every direction and what matters the most. Some things are there, no, and say any offering. Some things are there, people have to associate. Some things are there, you're fasting. Or be walk cry, or be frame, or be some say, or so yari, or say, or something with the chest, and I'll come ninyama, any ninyama. On the phone, once he called, I said, hello, how are you doing? He said, is this prophet? I said, yes. He said, I've looked for you for so long. Please, I'm dying. What? I said, what's wrong with you? See my chest. I said, get me water. Papa. Or they are ching, Gigi. I'm on for Gigi, Nyama be brief, because of that same problem. On the phone that very moment, he got healed. Up till now, about, I think, almost like 3-4 months ago. Up till now, he's still healed. He's fine. He's perfect. He's so happy and everything. And then he sent offering to the ministry. We didn't ask for anything. That is a healing problem. I'll just deal with it straightforward. If it is Bibia, I'll just tell you, oh, get this and then get that and do. But there are problems in how to solve them.
Okay.
So when you come ready for every kind of situation. Some things will need you to do some things, some things don't need you to do anything.
You and that's say 31st program no me who say Jakalolomi eka ho a. They say ya Jakalolomi ya. That's why presidential worshipper. Jakalolomi, a presidential worshipper. They say, Nancy Crawford Jack, I wouldn't know. Obe Franco, Jack, Odianke, no bet Chia Morgan, how Boakra Jakalolomi. Odianke, no, Ubenu. Etimiende number no, number a befro nafi for social media, engine number near. Nafi, your BA studio line not to Nafi.
Okay, so for numbers, over framing when you want to talk to us, and I want to tell the people, Munya patient. A bit to me, friend, or see. But say if a prophet, oh, please, we want to, talk to you now and sort you out before you bring it to the prophet, because there's a lot of things. Every day, a mommy list of people are called back.
Okay.
I thought they are now be for say, okay, prophet, thank us, no idea, bye. No, I can't. They just talk to my pastors anyhow. And to please, and yeah, you can't talk to me directly like that, because sometimes on my troll list, so I'm talking to about 200 people a day.
Okay.
But I'm for be afraid. Until like, oh hello, this, and to see the urgency of your situation, because obi out the hospital, obi can the last breath is different from what I pay sika or the got bicycle.
Yeah.
Everybody and the urgency, and depending on the urgency, will deal with the problem. So the number is 026 22 36360.
Sense is with you.
026 22 36360.
And only line I fra.
Yes.
You bet me enya wasofo ni bi ne wakasa.
Yes. Sometimes I can even answer it myself.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they will send a text message on that, like we'll send a message, any audio, voice recording, and everything. We'll definitely listen to you.
Eti nipa no friend na say ya mpeke onko so amfre.
Oh, I bet me send a text and I say a WhatsApp message. But then as time is going to keep calling, because I believe it's by faith.
Okay.
So you don't know when the calls will be answered, but more answer calls actually. They are always on the call answering everyone's calls as much as they can.
I am on free time, Ben.
You start from 8 a.m. in the morning to 12 a.m. at midnight.
12 a.m.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, the endakra.
Wow.
It was a niacin na black.
Software error say Jesse mama course no. Ha na fe yen pick course kakra wo studio. 030220 8090 030220 8090 ana o question bibisa ana say komo ya twehwe na komo ne dey